My rabbi once asked me, if you're walking at 3 o'clock in the morning down Avenue M, and you're trying to get into a store and it's closed, and you want to know, will the store be open tomorrow? Or maybe it's closed for good. How do you know if the store might be open tomorrow or if the store is closed for good? And I said, I don't know. And he said, you look at the sign. If the sign is still up there, then chances are it's going to open up. But if the sign has come down, then chances are the store is done forever. Okay? Therefore, in Judaism, we all know we're going to be celebrating the giving of the Torah, 613 commandments. However, there are 3 of them that are called in the Torah a sign. Yes, it actually writes the word, this is a sign that you're open for business. It could be a guy, likes to eat kosher food. He likes kosher food. It doesn't mean he's open for business. He just likes kosher food. And it could be a guy doesn't speak negatively about people, not because he's open for business as a Jew. He's just a nice guy. There are 3 signs, and the Torah says a sign. Number 1, ukshartam lios al yadecha. Anybody say Shema? Ukshartam lios. You shall tie it as a sign that you're on the team. So there are 3 signs. Does anybody know what these 3 signs are? Well, I'm going to tell you. If you know the word Shabbat, it's very simple. Shabbat has 3 letters. Shin. The Shin stands for Shabbat. You're keeping Shabbat, that's a sign you're open for business. Days, Bris. You have a Bris, and you're open for business. And Taf stands for Tefillin. You're putting on Tefillin, you're open for business. And every Jew needs 2 signs every day that he's open for business. So, Jewish person has a Bris, he puts on Tefillin, he's got his 2 signs. On Shabbat, that's the other sign, so he doesn't put on Tefillin. He's got Bris and he's got Shabbat, so he doesn't put on Tefillin on Shabbat. But Sunday to Friday, he's got the 2nd sign of Tefillin. I remember when I was teaching in that class and I told them, and there was a couple dating, and they came over to me afterwards, and she says to me, my boyfriend is not on the team. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, he doesn't have a Bris, and I think he should have a Bris. And he looked at her and said, what you talking about, Willis? And he goes, yes. And sure enough, 3 months later, Baruch Hashem, he joined the team. He had a Bris. He was 23. He realized, got to be on the team. So why am I speaking about this today? Because today we have a very, very, very special day. And when a day like this happens, my heart warms on the inside. And I am thrilled when this stuff happens. Because when I grew up in a regular yeshiva, and when I was 13 years old, every single boy in my class was presented a pair of tefillin by their dad or their zadushka. There wasn't a boy in my class in all the years that I could possibly remember where a boy did not have tefillin. I wasn't aware that there was a country called Russia where they were not allowed to wear tefillin. Stalin did an incredible job. And that's where Rabbi Katzin has the greatest stories. They try to smuggle them into the country, and we could tell hundreds of stories about how they try to smuggle them because Jews wanted to wear, but they were not allowed. They would be arrested. So when they finally came out at 15, 20, 25, some of them said, I'm ready to join the team. And some of them said, nah, I went to Lincoln already, I'm good. So I never had that challenge. So to me, I was brainwashed. I'm happy to put it on every day. And I haven't missed Baruch Hashem in 40 years. I haven't missed a day. But I never had to sacrifice. I came to RAJE and I met a group of people that actually had to sacrifice and give up something. And it wasn't part of the daily routine. And they came over to me and they said, Rabbi, I'm ready to join the team. And I'm ready to put on every day. So when I walked into BJX on one Sunday morning, I saw a RAJER there. I'm like, what are you doing here? He says, I came to put on tefillin. I said, that's so nice. And I came again. And on Sunday morning, on a day you should be sleeping late, he's putting on tefillin. I said, where did you get that tefillin from? He says, the rabbi lent it to me this morning. I said, would you like your own pair of tefillin? He's like, let me think about it. And then 6 weeks later, he came over to me. He says, Rabbi, I'm ready to join the team. I would like to start putting on tefillin every day. I'm like, you just made my day. You're about to clap, but you don't know who it is. It's not her. Leah. No, it's not Leah. It's not Leah. No, it's not her. No. So, without further ado, I want everybody to put their hands together as we present one boy sitting right here, his first pair of tefillin, which he takes upon himself to wear as, can't say it, because you don't want to make a promise and break it, but I am going to take it upon myself to wear it every day. And we'd all like to give a standing ovation to our RAJE, Moshe Israelov, for taking it upon himself. Come up here. You can do it? 1 minute? I would like Moshe to say a few words.
Thank you to BGS and also Rabbi Rosenfeld.
RAJE.
RAJE as well. Everything in general, this is awesome. I knew I'm going to get my own hair eventually, but it came sooner than later. I want to say this really, the way it started is from Poland product. So whoever went to Poland product, you don't know who you guys are. We went to the camps, and then from that day, I told myself in my head, okay, after I leave Poland, I went to Budapest after, I'm starting to Tefillin. And that Sunday when we got back Wednesday, and I got back on Sunday, that snowstorm. I drove over to BGS, I'm like, all right, let me start rapping Tefillin. One day after one, I started rapping, and I'm like, I like this, and I want to get closer to God, get closer to the higher power. Something that is important to me. I encourage whoever doesn't do Tefillin to start 1 day a week, and then slowly go 2 days a week, then do 3 days. You start 1 day a month, and then go from there. Again, I'm going to try my best to do it 5 times a week, 6 times. Wait, yeah, 5 times a week. Try my best to do it as much as I can. 5 to 6. Okay. But anyways, yeah, I want to say thank you, RAJE. I want to say thank you to put me on RAJE. They're in this room. And I want to say you guys are awesome, and I hope you guys get to the level where I'm at right now.
We got Rabbi Kitson? We got a picture with Rabbi Kitson? Come here. I want a picture with Rabbi Kitson.
Unbelievable. No, isn't it?
Yes. I got a call. Afterwards, yes. It's okay. No, that's all that we have to do. Thank you. Now, as we know, there was the NBA draft a few weeks ago. When you would draft a player, you like what we call impact players. You don't want to just draft a guy. You want impact players. When you go to the NFL draft, you want impact players. That means someone that makes an impact right away. I like to hang out with impact people. You can hang out with regular people, but then there are some that are impact people. I would like to introduce someone that is one of the most impactful, especially when it comes to this mitzvah of tefillin. He has really changed the world regarding this mitzvah. Besides, there's many other things he does, but I want to focus on this one thing. And I don't really want to tell you about it because he has a few minutes that he would like to tell you what he does, and maybe you guys also can join in. So I'd like to introduce a very impactful person, impactful on the Jewish people, who lives just a block away from me, my good friend Avrami Schoenfeld. Come right up. I would like you to tell your story because I'm blown away. Go for it.
Thank you, Rabbi. Nice to meet everybody. First of all, my name is Avram Schoenfeld, Abe Schoenfeld, Avrami Schoenfeld, whatever is easiest for everyone to pronounce. I will say that I actually had one of the most impactful moments in my life right here in this room. I think it was about a year and a half ago at this point. Dr. Faye, I had spoken in her house on a Friday night at a Shabbat dinner. And Dr. Faye called me up and told me that there was somebody just like Max today. By the way, big round of applause for Max. That was really amazing. But somebody also had wanted to take upon themselves to start rapping and putting on, oh, there he is, and started wanting to put on tefillin every day. And Dr. Faye called me up and asked me if I would be willing to sponsor and to buy a pair of tefillin for somebody. I had never met the person before. I didn't know who he was. But I said, absolutely. And I came here, and it was one of the most meaningful, impactful moments in my life, I would say. You know, giving somebody the gift of the mitzvah to be able to connect with Hashem on a daily basis for a man. Like Rabbi Rosenfeld said, you know, I grew up in a regular, traditional, Orthodox household. I got my tefillin when I was 13, very similar to what the rabbi said, and it was part of my daily ritual, part of my daily routine. I'm 48 years old. I've never missed a day of putting on tefillin, and I don't plan on missing unless God forbid something happens. But I was able to gift someone a pair of tefillin, and probably over the last 3 years, I've probably gifted about 50 to 75 pairs of tefillin to people. All people who just want to start putting on tefillin daily. This all came about, you know, we say in the Jewish religion, we say that nothing happens by chance. There's no coincidence, right? And this is my story. About 4 years ago, I was flying down to Miami. I was going for a convention, and there was bad weather. I changed my flight. I was flying with 3 of my friends, and I changed my flight 4 times. I wound up sitting, you know, in a middle seat just to get down there to make sure that I was there on time. And as I sat down, the guy sitting next to me says, "I'm a lot calmer now." I said, "Why?" He says, "I see a Yehudi, a fellow Jew, is sitting next to me, and I'm very nervous to fly." I looked at this guy. I would have never known that he was Jewish. Never. But I said, okay. I said, great. We have something that we say called Tefillat HaDerech. You know, it's something that we say to help us get through our journey, to say a blessing, and we're going to get there. So he says, never heard of it before. I told him, okay, we're going to say it together. So I put on a cap. I gave my yarmulke to him. He actually had grown up in Israel, so he spoke Hebrew, but he didn't really know, wasn't religious at all. I said, when was the last, do you keep kosher? No. Do you keep Shabbat? No. Do you say tefillah? Do you daven? No. I said, when was the last time you prayed? It's like, I don't know, like 10 years ago, a Chabad guy stopped me in the airport and put tefillin on me on the airport. I told him, I'm going to make you a deal. I don't know why. It was the last thing that we discussed. I said, if we land and everything goes well on our trip, tomorrow morning I want you to put on tefillin. And he said, okay, it's a deal. Obviously, we made it to Miami, and we swapped phone numbers. And the next morning, I sent him a picture of myself when I was in shul, wearing my tefillin. And I said, Alon, I expect to see a picture back from you. And about 4 hours later, he told me that he borrowed a pair from his friend, and he put it on, and he sent me a video of himself saying Shema. And he said it was the first time that he did it in probably over 10 years. And it warmed my heart. It made me feel great. You know, I took somebody that I had met by chance, and I was able to do that. And every day, for about 4 months, it was just me and him. I introduced him to my kids, and I sent him pictures, and 3 of my friends who were on the plane with me, we all were sending him pictures. And it was a chat of me and him. And I'm in the sports business. I don't know if the rabbi said it, but The company where I work for, my family business, we make the sports apparel for the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL. We do FIFA. Yeah, okay. We all got to make a buck. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. But we're going to be busy with the FIFA World Cup now coming up. And I went to the Super Bowl. I go to the Super Bowl every year. It's one of the perks of my job. And I met somebody there who also did not put on tefillin, and I told him about my friend, and I got a third guy. Then over Pesach, the chef who was working, in the Pesach program that I went to, I was talking to him. I got him, and all of a sudden, I started gaining momentum. I started asking people, hey, do you wear tefillin every day? And we formed a group, a WhatsApp group of, it started out, it was 5 people, then it was a dozen people, then it turned into 25, 30 people. Today I have about 5,000 people on various groups who every single day post pictures of themselves and putting on tefillin every day. And it's a reminder, there's no judgment. There's people with tattoos, there's people, it doesn't make a difference who you are. You got rabbis that, I'm not a rabbi, but you got rabbis that put it on. You got regular business people. You have kids that are 15 in public school. There's no judgment. All it is it's a daily reminder to put on your tefillin every single day. And that's all that we ask. It's not a chat that there's no fundraising, there's no anything. And it's over the last 4 years, I've gotten to meet a lot of people. I've gotten to, it's also taught me a valuable lesson, which is something that Max said. I heard Max, who spoke great, and what he said was, start with one day. Start with one little thing. Make a change in your life, and you never know where it will take you. And it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to be Shomer Shabbat, or tomorrow you're going to be full-fledged. You just have to, and what I would say is it's like that for every aspect in a person's life in general, right? We all want to be better for our families and for our children and for our spouses or for whoever our loved ones are. We want to be better. We're always pushing to be better. So the way to be better is to try to do things consistently. And I would tell you that in Judaism and in the business world, nobody will ever stop you from being successful if you're consistent about who you are and your religion. Consistency is the key. It's being proud of who we are. We're the chosen nation. We're proud to be Jewish. I walk around the streets of Manhattan wearing my yarmulke, not scared. I'm proud. And as long as people know that you're consistent about your faith, that means that you do and you believe who you are and you're outward about that. I'll tell you one little story that happened to me. Like I just said, I'm in the sports business, and one of the companies that we manufacture for is Nike. We make a lot of Nike product. The most important thing to Nike is the swoosh, the brand, right? That is what is important to them. They spend millions upon millions of dollars a year making sure that their advertising, that their marketing, that's what everybody recognizes, and they don't want anything to tarnish their brand. So we have factories. We do business in China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Central America, all over the world. In order to manufacture a Nike product, you have to go through a Nike audit. The factory has to go through the audit. And what do they want to make sure? They want to make sure social compliance. They want to make sure there's no child labor. There's no toxic waste being spilled out. They don't want bad press. They just don't want bad publicity. So they don't really care what the t-shirt feels like. They want to make sure that every aspect around manufacturing that is done correctly. 2 years ago, a factory that I worked very close with for many years in El Salvador was going through a Nike audit. I run the production for our company, so I went down to El Salvador to be present for the audit. I walked into the factory, and this auditor is standing there, and he goes, "I've been waiting to meet you. You're the head of production for your company." I said, "That's correct." He says, "I've been waiting to meet you." I said, "What? Who am I that you're waiting to meet me? You're here to audit the factory. I'm just somebody that gives them business." He says, "I heard from Nike Corporate that you were coming to be present for this audit. So you know what the first thing that I did was?" I said, "Nope." He said, "I Googled you." I said, "Okay." He says, "You know what happened when I Googled you?" I said, "No." He says, "Nothing. You have no Facebook, you have no Instagram, you have no LinkedIn, you have no... How are you doing business today if you're not on social media? How is that possible?" I told him, I said, "Listen, you see I'm here, I'm a religious Jew. I don't want my children on social media because that's the way that I raise my family, so I practice what I preach. I am also not on social media." He goes, "How in the world do you do business?" I take out my phone and I say, "You see, I email, I WhatsApp, I use my phone. I have no problems. We do business great." The guy, for 30 minutes before he started an audit, all he wanted to know was what it meant to be a Jew and how I am able to keep Sabbath and how I'm able to go through the holidays without, while business is running and while people are doing. And he walked out of that interview. He emailed me a few times and he said, I met a neighbor of mine who was Jewish and I looked at them in a different way. Everybody in this crowd can have a positive impact on somebody by just being yourself and being consistent and true about who you are. And don't ever think that being Jewish will stop you from being successful. You look at that's why I would say this, I could say this in this room, right? That's why most of the people hate us, right? They hate us because, what? They hate us. But why do they hate us? What's the reason? Because they hate the fact that such a small nation is able to have such a huge impact in the world because we don't believe in boundaries. We're successful. You look, Elon Musk, I just saw a news, Elon Musk is going to Tel Aviv to the Israeli Stock Exchange because he sees how high and how important the tech world is, and it's based out of Israel. They recognize the fact that we are who we are and we're firm with our beliefs. So Tefillin is one of the things that, that has made a positive impact in my life, and I've been able, thank God, to be able to spread that. And I encourage anybody, if they have anybody that wants to join my Tefillin group, I have about 5 Ragers that are in my groups already. I'm looking forward to having Max join our group. And if I could ever be of help with anybody, if I could ever do anything for anybody, please don't hesitate. Rabbi Rosenfeld has my number and Dr. Fay has my number. And thank you all, but more importantly, thank you all for caring enough to be here and to want to make yourself better. So keep it up and give yourself a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to first of all thank Rabbi Rosenfeld and Mr. Schoenfeld, who really lead the way, and I think you taught us an important lesson of responsibility for the world and connecting your mind. Let me do the opposite. What we first put Tefillin on? What do we begin with? Our heart, our feelings, then our thoughts, but it comes back to the hand. It means we're connecting the feelings with thoughts and actions. We love the world and Jewish people. We think about them and we do it. Okay?
That's what we're all about.
The power of living
Love.
your dream. This is power of living your dream. And when you put Tefillin, you connect your mind to your heart. Correct? And you live your wholesome life. Life of integrity.
I leave that to the rabbis.
I think that is an amazing, amazing message. And I want to tell you something. in a way, we're celebrating today also, it was like Victory Day in Russia, but we're celebrating in a way victory over Nazi Germany. Okay, guys? Remember this, something very unusual and something, I would say, surprise. So we had an amazing member of our community, Sarah Brodsky. About 20 years ago, I don't remember Greg. By the way, Greg, we want to welcome Greg. RAJE of 2006. RAJE of 2006 with us. Together with his son. He's bringing his son to us. Greg of 2006. Greg, did you come with me? We went together on the trip, no? Yeah. We went, can you imagine? We went together on the trip to 2006. And wow. Simcha joined RAJE. Simcha, where's Simcha? Are you here? Tell us when. 2008. Wow. And think about it. These people continue coming back and giving back, inspiring our people. Wow. And by the way, look at this. This is a dream come true. Look at Rebecca. Let's go. Wow, Rebecca, you're RAJE of 2009. Okay? Wow. And by the way, Dina, you since when? 15? 16. Okay, 16 is also a decade. Look at this. What an amazing community. Wow. Okay? By the way, we would love to see you next year, and in 10 years, and in 20 years, you should come back. Okay? And share your joyful occasions and share your accomplishments. But right now, we're all celebrating victory over Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, and Stalin, of course, part of it. Stalin was part of Nazi Germany attacking Poland in 1939. They were allies. So just on my side, when one of my good friends, together with me, once entered Sinai Academy, we have Albert, who I know 26 years still from Sinai. We have another boy from Sinai Academy. So I remember he said, when I enter Sinai Academy, the same way, when I enter RAJE, I fight Adolf Hitler, because Adolf Hitler wanted to wipe us out. He wanted to make sure that you don't exist. Joseph Stalin wanted to make sure we don't know who we are. He was willing to send us to die in Soviet army as Soviet people, but he wanted to make sure we were wiped out as Jews. And look at this. We have Russian-speaking Jews coming to us from Germany. Come here, we want to welcome you. Just welcome. Come. No, don't come. Okay, let's just, okay, don't worry. And we want you maybe to say a few words. Come, let's first of all welcome them. Okay, welcome them. That's something. Okay, come, just for a second. You look at us, just introduce yourself. Your name is? David. Вы чувствуете сразу. Давид, не просто David, and you? Sasha. Do you hear this? Sasha. And you? Alexander. How come? I hear the Russian Alexander. And you? Yaakov. Okay, Yaakov. We have some other very humble, shy guys sitting, correct?
Yeah, we are from Spain.
Spain. Look at Spain as well. Wow. Where's the victor of the Spanish Inquisition? And you?
Also from Spain. Both are from Spain.
Spain, okay. So we're overcoming Spanish Inquisition and Nazi Germany as well. So anybody just give us a blessing. Remember, Sarah Brodsky was part of one of the mentors, I believe, also 2006. Got married, lives in Berlin, sharing the fire.
Beautiful.
And these are her students, correct?
Beautiful.
Yes. These are the students of a daughter of my friend from St. Petersburg. Can you imagine what's going on?
Beautiful.
Can you imagine what's going on?
Amazing.
This is a lesson. Tell us a few words. What do you think? And give just few words of blessings for you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Sasha, okay. Say one word from you. Blessing for our program and how we can be connected. You know, one of my friends from Moscow called me. He said, Moscow on me, Berlin on me, RAJE in Jerusalem, RAJE here, we all one. So what do you want to say? Okay, go ahead, please. Oh, Joseph, these are your students. Thank you. Wow.
I'm working together in a lot of relations, a lot of good. We're just together. We are doing our and It's very interesting because we came from Germany. I'm Israel originally, I grew up in Israel. I live now in Berlin. But the Russian, the Russian говорит, it's like, for me, like, I don't grow up in any Russian environment, but now in Berlin, 99% is Russian speaking, so it's like more familiar to me now. But it's really interesting, especially for students. Again, I grew up in Israel, so everything is not new for me. But for my students who grew up in communities in Germany, the region basically was over nothing, with a zero Jewish background and almost a very, very small Jewish community. You can see here specifically Brighton Beach. It's a very special Russian community also. And see so many Jewish people gathering together. For us, it's unique. We don't see so much in Germany. So, around the clock. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yaakov. You already bought that. And your parents from?
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. Okay. And you?
I'm from Ukraine.
From where?
From Kharkiv.
Kharkov. Okay. Your parents Kharkov as well as you? From Germany and parents? Chernovtsi. Okay. So once again, we love you. We want you to succeed and be proud Jewish. And most important, next year or even this year in Jerusalem.